Howdy folks, Spencer here, and today I'll be going over my roadmap predictions for what to expect in STO throughout the rest of 2025. As always, chapters to each topic are listed below. And jumping right into upcoming content, earlier this week, ship artist Pundus, alongside community manager Counselor Suna, did a 10-forward stream to go over the behind the scenes for the art side of ship design. It was a good 50-minute stream. I had no issue watching it at 2x speed, so if you have some time to set aside and you want to see some behind the scenes, I'll have it linked down below. Now, during this stream, some upcoming free ship remasters were also shown for the Yushan and Gladius. The Gladius is a bit further out, but these are going to both be free remasters, so if you own any of the ships that can use those skins, when the remaster drops, then it will be available for you to access for free at the Shipyard Tailor. Next up, as some of you have noticed since the most recent PC patch, the fifth part of 2025's Event Campaign 7 is now shown as coming soon. This is a Voth Invictus event which will have 3 options for daily participation. 2 TFOs, the Breach and Storming the Spire, with the third option being to participate in controlling one area of the map in the Voth Ground Battle Zone. Personally, I would just keep an alt over at the Ground Battle Zone during the event, as that will be the easiest and fastest route. Just help complete one little part of the map each day, and that's your daily done. Now, this event is being teased while we're still on the fourth part of Event Campaign 7, which ends on August 19th. I do expect to see a 1 to 2 week red alert in between that, which would mean this either starts on August 26th or September 2nd. Now for scheduling, I feel that September 2nd would make a bit more sense, though a 10 forward was announced for August 26th to go over an upcoming ship, so either is possible. Now, as for what the reward could be, it is worth noting that a Tier 6 Miracle Worker version of the Voth Bulwark Dreadnought Cruiser was accidentally shown on a dev stream in early July, and around the same time, an enhanced version of the console from the Tier 5 one was listed as part of that console set. With the original Tier 5 having been a promotional tier ship which later found its way to the Phoenix store for a brief time, it seems a likely candidate to be tossed into the Infinity Lockbox, and that certainly is possible, but something feels off here. And the reason I say that is because over the past couple of months, we have silently seen that they have went in and modified not just the console from the Tier 5 Voth Bulwark, but in fact the entire console set it appears, including from the other Voth ships, so that you can now use those on any ship that you want. In addition, they've also went in and changed the hangar pet restrictions. They've just completely removed them, so you can now use these pets on any ship, and the pets have been buffed up to now have focused assault. So I can put the hangar pet on my Arc Rail, and just to show, I can put multiple parts of the Voth console set onto what is clearly not a Voth ship. And again, those consoles originally had restrictions where they could only be used on Voth ships. Getting things unrestricted usually requires a bit of noise from the player base, as we just saw with the Breen consoles and pets when the new Breen Yacht was released. And these requests are not always successful, as we saw with requests to unlock the Tal Shiar consoles when they added the Adapted Destroyer to the 14th anniversary bundle. So them having already done this silently several weeks or months ago, when many prior Tier 5 to 6 upgrades, including to the other Voth ships, did not result in these actions, gives me the impression that they have larger ambitions for this ship. And again, I could be wrong, this could just be the new standard for the folks at Deca to unrestrict all the things, but it just seems a bit suspicious. You would think that they would have advertised that they had taken these actions. And while we're on the topic of ships, as many of you know, the Atlas received a remaster not long ago. After that remaster, a bunch of Atlases were broken for people and looked like this, so if you're running into this issue still, all you have to do to fix it is go over to the Ship Tailor, load the template, and hit apply. Now, when they do these remasters, it's not always because they want to bring in a new version of the ship, but in this case it is. Just listen to what Thomas had to say about it on a Vengeance God stream.
We sometimes remaster things because we want to, and we get some time, we get some extra time or bandwidth to do it. All I'll say is this was not the case in that situation. So just keep keep your eyes, ears open.
So an Atlas 2 is on the radar, and we know from old streams that Thomas did that he has been wanting to do a TMP version of this ship for a while, and with the TMP theme this year, it seems to be finally the time for it. The original Atlas was a lockbox ship and one of the most popular due to the DPRM console it had, so I fully expect this to be a new Infinity Lockbox ship added to the game in the very near future. And shifting over to new content, the new season that the Deca team has been working on since the anniversary update appears to be on track to drop in the late September to early October timeframe that we have typically seen with STO. Story-wise, we know that voice actors including Michelle Specht and Jerry Ryan have already recorded their lines for the story content in this update. In addition, we're seeing lore blogs popping up again, and there is a Q&A with the narrative team over on the Reddit and Discord, which you can participate in up through August 21st, and they'll be answering in a blog post sometime in September. The point here is that we are very clearly approaching the next big update for the game, and if you look at the history of season releases, the mid-September to early October timeframe is very common, though since 2021, everything has consistently dropped mid-September for the fall update. It is worth noting that in 2025 we had the anniversary start a few weeks later than normal, but even with them doing a Voth event before the new season, and a 1 to 2 week long red alert, they could still drop it in mid to late September. If PC gets a 1 week long red alert event this upcoming Tuesday, August 19th, followed then by 3 weeks of the Voth event, then September 16th is the earliest I could see the new season dropping. And if it's a 2 week long red alert event, with the Voth event starting September 2nd, then the earliest I could see the season dropping is September 23rd. Of course, I could be wrong, that's all an educated guess on my part, but that seems to be the direction that we're heading. That means the next story mission, the next task force operation, some new systems or mechanic changes, and potentially another captain or ship upgrade like Tier 6-X3 are likely just 4 to 6 weeks away for PC players. And if you're over on console, then you'll likely get the update sometime in November. Now, with the chaos of the transition, it is fully possible that we may not see a captain or ship upgrade edition with this season, but if you look back at the 2020s, we got the original Tier 6X upgrade in fall of 2020, in 2021 was the Elite Captain Training Token, 2022, the Elite Bridge Officers, 23 was Tier 6X2, and 2024 had the Captain Alteration Token. They could certainly go either ground or space here. I know many of you would like to see Tier 6X3 for the extra console and trait slots, but I know that there's also many of you that would be frustrated about the additional power creep that would have, and how that would increase the cost of getting a ship fully upgraded. But aside from that, or something like a class change token, I'm not sure where they would want to go with another upgrade style token. A second tier of Elite Captain for more personal trait slots could work, I guess, but I'm really curious to hear from you all what you'd like to see from the next upgrade style token. Let me know in the comments below. And piecing everything together, this is my guess for the timeline of events throughout the rest of 2025 for STO on PC and console. For PC, we're likely to see a red alert event start up this upcoming Tuesday, and whether that is a 1 or 2 week event will then determine when the Voth event and the new season are likely to drop. But I think it's a safe guess at this point to say a mid to late September release for the new season is seeming very likely. And then in October will be the Halloween event, and that should be the same for PC and console, and that may potentially overlap some of the other events that are going on at the time. And in November, PC should have the last part of Event Campaign 7, and then in December, perhaps December 2nd, would be the start of the 2025 winter event for both PC and console. Now for console players, as you guys are aware, things are going to be slightly delayed over there, so you guys are going to be getting the 4th part of the event campaign on August 26th, and then after that will likely be the same Red Alert event, followed by the Voth event, which would be the 5th part of the event campaign. Again, the Halloween and winter events should happen at or around the same time as on PC. Then in November, you guys would have the new season dropping, and in January of 2026 should be the final part of Event Campaign 7 over on console. Again, these are all educated guesses on my part, but they are based on historical trends. So hopefully this gives you guys an idea of when to expect things this year, but that is it for this video, so thank you all for watching and for the continued support. See you all around.